Hello there! I hope you're ready for some more fun, creative crafting ideas. I'm Kristen, and today we are talking about how God has a special purpose for all of us. Our focus text is the epistle of Ephesians, chapter 1, which talks about how God has chosen us, adopted us, and given us a purpose. So we're talking about how He loves us and we have a special inheritance because of our relationship to God the Father. So we're going to actually make 3 crafts today that have to do with that sense of purpose and special plan and who we are in Christ. Now, the first craft that we're going to make today is a keychain or a key ring of sorts. And this is to remind students that they have special purpose and worth in God's eyes. So all you really need for this, it's pretty simple, just some different colored paper, or plain paper works too, and maybe some items to decorate it, scissors, hole punch is going to come in handy, and some kind of a string or a pipe cleaner, which your cat might want to try and attack, so warning on that. But anyways, we're going to start off, we're going to draw some keys here, and we're just going to make some different keys that will get cut out to add to my key ring. So you can make a very basic kind of skeleton key looking deal here. Maybe you've got another key that looks sort of more modern with some zigzags. Obviously, this is your craft, it's up to you, but you want to have at least 3 or 4 different keys. Make sure that they, look kind of like keys to an extent. And drawing just helps so you can know where to cut. Now you can decorate these before you cut, or you can have them pre-cut. I would recommend if you have a larger group, maybe you're doing this for a Sunday school class, cut these bad boys out ahead of time, and then the kids can just decorate them and write on them. Now, our focus here is that our Heavenly Father has given us the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and He's adopted us into His family and promised us heaven. So because of that, we have a special purpose in His eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the students write out one of the keys, at least should have something to do with one of our verses from Ephesians and or this idea of God giving us keys. That's why we have keys. And then on the other keys, you're going to have the kids brainstorm things that are special about them. So ways that God might have specially gifted them, or things He might have planned for their lives. So once you've got your keys all cut out and prepared, and again, this is something you might want to have done ahead of time, we're going to write on them. And then we're simply going to hole punch them and string them together. So here we go. We've got our keys, and now comes the fun part. The kids get to decorate them and write on them. Obviously, depending on your age range, they might write these things themselves, or you might help them. So you might say, God gives me the keys for life and eternity. And then on these, you can have the kids come up with things that ways that God has blessed and given them good things. So you can just say blessings, and then the kids can come up with things on their own. Things like, I love my family. That's a way that we can serve God and a blessing that He gives us. Or you can write special talents like, I can sing music. That's how we worship God. Or, I love school. These are ways that we can serve the Lord and things that he gives us. So now we have some of our keys. And of course, depending on your time, you can decorate them more. You can make more keys. This is just the basics. Now we're going to hole punch them. You can probably do multiple keys at a time. Try not to hole punch through the writing. Hole punching can even be done ahead of time as well. And then we're going to take, in this case, a pipe cleaner. So we have something. Just string those keys together. One pipe cleaner is enough for now, thank you. And that was my backup in case the cat decided to run away with one of them. But she's hiding now. Anyways, here we have your heavenly keys to the kingdom. Now, we have two more crafts that we're going to make. One of them, we're going to make a crown because we're talking about how God has chosen us and how he's given us this heavenly inheritance, which makes us sons and daughters of the king, which makes us princes, princesses, queens, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to make a simple crown out of a paper plate. Now, if you've never made a paper plate crown before, it's very easy. Here's how it's done. You're going to you're going to fold the paper plate in half. And now we're going to cut some lines. If you would like to trace them ahead of time, you may, or you can simply cut them. So we're going to kind of basically bisect it, fold it like a taco and cut it in half, but we're not cutting it all the way. So you're going to cut just about till, most plates have this kind of ridge where the bumpy part starts. If you've got a typical paper plate, you're going to go right about up to that ridge. You don't want to go all the way through the plate. And then you're going to do it again. You have this, now you have a couple of triangles kind of. We're going to cut those triangles. And we're going to cut this triangle. And then when you open it up, you may also want to cut this larger triangle as well. So essentially, if you're looking at this like it's a pizza, you now are going to have 8 little pointy parts, 8 little slices of pizza. You can make your triangles bigger or smaller. That's just up to how you want your crown to look. Now, when you open up your crown to make it look crown-ish, you're going to fold these triangles up. But you probably will want to decorate it first and then fold it up. So you can write on this lovely crown. You can write such things as, I am a child of the king. Or you could write citizen of heaven. Obviously, you can write whatever you like. Adopted by God, heir to the throne, whatever you want to say. Now, you can also decorate these little guys. If you want to, you can throw on some jewels. You can throw on some stickers, depending on what you want. If you want your crown to just be fun and cutesy, or if you want it to look authentically crown-ish, of course, you could do just more jewels, or you could write more on it, or you could color on it, or however you want it to go. It's totally up to you and your preferences and what your students want to do, as well as how much time you have. So maybe I'll just color a couple of these guys. Again, this is totally just giving you some ideas, and your students can take it away and make it away and do all their fun stuff. So once you've got your crown nicely, beautifully decorated, this is not an example of beautiful decoration. This is an example of hurried, giving you basics and ideas decoration. Now, you can fold those pointy parts up. And this is something the kids can probably do. Younger ones might need a little assistance getting it just right. And then, the nice thing about these is it's pretty much one size fits all. If you've got a larger head, you might need to cut farther towards the end. Smaller head, maybe you make it a little closer in. But you get all those little pointy parts up. And now you have a fabulous crown. And the students can wear these. You can do it either way. If you do it the other way, it works as well, and then point them this way. It's kind of up to you. But now they have a crown, and if you want this to be more like a bonnet, you could attach a string to it to hold it to their head. But this one will work, and it will do the job, and it will remind us that we are children of the King. So hats off to that. One more very simple craft. Now this has to do with redemption in a sense. So because we have been chosen by God and adopted into his kingdom, he has taken something, us, that's pretty plain and simple, and he has transformed it into something that can be used by God and can be part of his family. So we're going to take something that's very simple and very basic and a humble sort of an item, and we're going to transform it. So we're going to take this simple toilet paper tube, very much not exciting, not glamorous, and we are going to turn it into something new. We're going to make it a musical instrument today. So we're going to remind ourselves of why we're doing this by writing on it. We're just going to say something like a new creation or repurposed. And now we're going to decorate it some more. You can even throw some jewels on here. Why not? There's nothing that says you can't put jewels on a toilet paper tube, after all. And maybe we're gonna do some jewels, maybe some stickers. You wanna throw on some googly eyes, go for it. It's your craft. And now, this is the fun part. We're going to turn it into a kazoo. Yes, a kazoo. So you're going to punch a hole in the side. Now you could use a longer roll as well. You could use a paper towel tube and make a long kazoo. We're going to punch a hole in the side for the air to get a little more escaped. You can do that with scissors. You can do it with a hole punch. If you want to punch two holes, that will work as well. Now you need some wax paper. So we're going to take a little bit of wax paper, just a small enough square to cover your kazoo. So it does not have to be a large bit of wax paper. I'm going to put that on the bottom, and you're going to secure your wax paper with a rubber band. I just happen to have a hair tie here. And then, once you've secured your wax paper with a rubber band, you punched your hole and made sure the wax paper is nice and on there. There we go. You now have a fun kazoo for your students to make a joyful noise and annoy their parents in the car the whole ride home. But it's very simple, very easy. You're taking something plain and boring and turning it into a brand new creation, just like God does with us. So you have your kazoo, you have your crown, you have your keys to the kingdom. 3 simple, basic, adaptable, fun crafts to remember the wonderful meaning and reminders and important truths of this lesson and this passage in Ephesians. As always, feel free to change it up, make it your own, adjust to the needs and the timing of your crew in class, and most importantly, learn about Jesus and have fun. We do have new crafts and children's message suggestions coming out every week. So please tune in, subscribe, like, and come back again. Make some crafts, make some disciples. Have a wonderful week. Hope I'll see you next time.